Hi, you guys. I'm really excited. Matham Books, we're doing our first tag, and we've created this. It's pretty exciting. It's an acronym, and the tag is inside and out. And so that amounts to 9 questions, and I'll go through them. They're going to be a lot of fun, and you can get a chance to do these yourselves. So this is a brand new tag. As far as I know, never been done before. So it's called the Inside Out tag. And the inside and out are acronyms. So each letter stands for one of the questions that we have for you guys. Are you guys ready? Okay, here it goes. So number 1 of the acronym begins with I for inside, and it is the inside flap of the book cover, where it usually gives you the summary, or if it's a paperback, it's on the very back cover. The summaries they give you inside that flap. Too much information or not enough information. For me personally, it's usually too much information. I just want to get a little bit of a feel for the scene, the setting, generally what's this book about. I don't want to know already who the bad guy is. I don't want to know already that so-and-so falls in love with so-and-so. And so I find myself usually trying to avoid reading the inside flap or the back cover. Because normally I pick books to read that have been highly recommended by people I know and trust. And so I don't need the information they give on those. So my answer to that is inside flap information, too much usually. What's your answer? The second letter of the acronym, of course, is N, which stands for new book. What format do you want it in? And be honest. Audiobook, ebook, paperback, or hardcover. So you get your wish. You get a new book. What do you want it to be in? An audiobook form, an ebook form, paperback, or hardcover? For me personally, I'm kind of old school on this still. I prefer hardcovers. I like how they feel in my hand. I like the solid, sturdy nature of them. But most importantly, a hardcover can withstand the test of time, so I can put it up on my bookshelf there in the back and save it for my family in the future, and we'll read books, and my little, munchkin will be, "Daddy, what's that book right there?" And I'll pull out this nice old hardcover that I bought back in 2012, and I'll say, "This book right here, son, is a masterpiece." And I'll open it up, and it won't be all falling apart because it's hardcover. So that's my answer to N, new book. What format do you want it in? What's your answer? The next letter in the acronym is S, which stands for scribble while you read. In other words, do you like to take notes in the books that you read? Are you writing down, your little thoughts? Are you underlining? Are you highlighting? Are you making all these annotations when you read? Or are you the type of person that likes to keep your books clean, clean, clean? You don't touch them. You don't want any marks on them whatsoever. You won't even put your name in those books. Is that you? My personal answer is I love to write in my books. I'm a huge annotator. In fact, I hardly ever even read a book unless I have a pencil in my hand so I can make notes and quotes and whatnot. For me, quotations are one of the greatest parts of reading. I love them. I love going back through my old books and seeing the quotes that I've underlined. So for me, definitely a scribbler when I read. What about you? This is so much fun. The next letter is another I. So we've done I, N, S, and now we're on the next letter, I, which is this. In your best voice, your best reading voice, read for us your favorite opening line from a book. Mine is from The Gunslinger by Stephen King. It's book 1 of the Dark Tower series. And here it is. I love this line. It's one of the greatest lines, in my opinion, of all of Western civilization. Here you go. The man in black fled across the desert, and the gunslinger followed. Awesome. The man in black fled across the desert, and the gunslinger followed. Right? That's awesome. That's how the book starts. Best opening line ever. As you guys know, lots of opening lines are very famous, right? From A Tale of Two Cities, it was the best of times. It was the worst of times. You have from Moby Dick, right? Call me Ishmael. That's how it begins. So opening lines to me are often very fun, very important. So for this letter, this I is, in your best voice, read for us your favorite opening line from a book. So the next letter is D. And this is, does it matter to you whether an author is male or female when you're deciding to buy a book? So in other words, when you're there in the bookstore or the library or wherever online and you're like, I might be interested in this book, but you find out that the author is a guy. Does it change your view of the book if you want to read it or not? Right? In other words, does it matter to you if it's a female writing about a particularly, let's say, a very feminine main character? Does it have to be a female writing that? Or would you prefer it to be a man? Or guys, what if you're about to read an adventure novel? Would you want it written by a female? Right? These are just, I think it's an interesting question. Or there's also those authors that they put like T.C. Boyle, right? J.D. Robb. And if you're unfamiliar with those authors, you might not really know. Is that a guy or a girl, right? Does that matter to you? So my answer to the question, does gender matter, is yes. My example is the great book by Jeffrey Eugenides called The Virgin Suicides. And it's about a group of these young boys. So the main characters are boys. But these young boys are fascinated with the story of these 5 daughters that live across the street. And there's a lot of their kind of trying to figure out girls, right? Like, who are girls? Like, why do they act the way they do? And to me, it seems that was important to get that from a male perspective, because a male knows how it feels to be frustrated by confusing actions of females, right? The next letter is E. And the E stands for, and be honest on this one, ever read ahead? Have you ever gone to the last page of the book and read the last page before you even broke the first chapter? Have you? I bet you have. Me personally, I'll be honest, I haven't. I really don't. I'm the sort of person, even when I'm flipping through a book just to check page numbers or something, I like kind of squint my eyes just so I avoid seeing like a character's name or something way in the back in case that character, you know, I thought died or something. And now we're on the new word. We're on out. Begins with O. The question is, organized bookshelves or outrageous bookshelves? Be honest. Mine personally, they're organized by and large. The next letter is U, right? We're spelling out. O-U. So the U question is, you're under oath. Be honest. Have you ever chosen to read a book based solely on the book cover? Yes or no? Confess. I confess. I've done this many times. And the last question, the T at the very end of out, we're almost done with this. Here's the question. Take it out or keep it in? In other words, when you go to read a book, do you prefer to take it outside and read outdoors? Or are you the sort of person that likes to be inside when you read? Me personally, I'm a big inside reader. I don't know why. I like to read outside, but then the sun's too bright or there's bugs flying around, things like that. So I prefer to keep it inside, preferably inside a nice coffee shop with a nice hot tea. That's the best circumstances for me. Anyways, you guys, thank you very much for doing this tag. Very appreciated. You guys are great. I can't wait to see your answers by form of video responses. I want to see your answers and comments. Whatever you can do, do this tag, the Inside Out tag. It's an acronym, INSIDE and OUT. Okay, so here's who I tag. I tag, first off, Hey Hey Books. I tag Padfoot and Prongs. I tag The Booktubinator. And I tag Charlie Reads. And I tag Elizzy Books. Everyone else, of course, if you want to do this, I would love for you to do it, as many people as possible. And of course, I tag my partner in crime, Aaron. You got to do this tag as well. Have fun, brother.